Welcome! We've got a lot of updates for you, so let's jump right in. Horizon Worlds has now added the ability to create heavy-feeling objects which actually weigh down your avatar's hands when held and can even overshoot with momentum when swung. By enabling the weight simulation when held toggle, you can create heavier-feeling objects, tools, and weapons. You can even increase or decrease the strength of your hand by adjusting the hand joints, spring stiffness, and damping values. What? Also, while an object's scale and physics material usually determine its mass, now you can use the new override mass option combined with adjusting the object's gravity strength to better tune the behavior of a heavy held object. Amazing! They've also added the ability to edit an object's center of mass, which will let you even further fine-tune the feeling of holding and swinging a heavy object. Check out this top-heavy hammer I made. Really cool. By checking the isRight Boolean on the new onGrab and onRelease event code blocks, you can now tell which hand has grabbed or released an object. This more easily lets you script feedback like haptics on the hand which is holding an object without needing to check which hand is closest to the object. Have you seen the new tools, sports, and weapons assets that have been added to the asset library? You can find these available under the feature section, and they include things like a hammer and nails, a pickaxe and breakable block, a sword, a flail, a golf club and hole kit, punching bags, and a whole lot more. If you want, you can test these mechanics out for yourself by visiting the Hitting Examples world, and if you do, let us know what you think below. Due to performance issues, the set volume and set pitch code blocks have been changed to not include the fade over X seconds component. Pro tip, if you've used these code blocks already, you should probably replace them with the newer version to avoid having performance issues of your own. There's a new setting called voice mode. By default, everyone will hear all nearby users at the same volume. However, with voice mode, you can easily switch to garbled voices, which is where non-friend voices come across as unintelligible but friendly sounds. If you enable garbled voices, strangers will see an indicator that you can't hear them, so they don't feel like you're just ignoring them. But if you do want to hear what they're saying, you can simply raise one hand with a controller to your ear to temporarily ungarble them without having to add them as a friend. Have you played with the new paddle golf game kit that is now available in the asset library? It includes a paddle, a ball, and a tee for play, as well as hole starts and end objects, and scripts to handle starting and ending holes. There is also a published paddle golf example world with 9 holes. It's like playing golf, but with a paddle. Have you played it? Let us know below. Creators now have the ability to offer consumable in-world purchase items that don't have to be used immediately, or even within the same session as when the item was purchased. To make this happen, Horizon Worlds introduced a player inventory, which users can now access by pressing the menu button on their controller or from their left wrist. Now, people can purchase in-world consumables to enhance their world experiences and use the inventory to view the items they've bought. Also, visitors from the UK can purchase IWP items that are offered as well. How cool is that? Shout out to the UK members. Leave a comment if you're proudly from the UK. We want to see how many of you are out there. Here's an important update for long-time creators. Now you have the ability to use the Send Event with Delay code block to queue up the same event to be sent multiple times. Previously, if the same event was sent from the same object with a delay, any future attempts to send that event would be ignored until the first one is completed. Note that this new behavior only applies to code blocks placed after the feature was rolled out. Any code blocks used previously still behave as before to prevent unintentional behavior changes in existing worlds. Code blocks using the old feature will be marked as deprecated in the script editor. To update the new functionality, you can replace them with the new versions simply by dragging in the new code blocks. Visit 2.0 has now been set as default for all newly created worlds. Compared with 1.0, Visit 2.0 worlds have shown increased improvement on travel reliability and loading time. Note that all of the currently existing worlds will remain on Visit 1.0 until they are migrated at a later date. Horizon Worlds has an on-update event that now enables creators to run code every frame. Not only that, but you can choose if you want to run that code before physics is calculated or after. This code block also provides the time that has elapsed since the last world update. This is in the parameter delta time. What does this mean? What this means is if you want something to move a player, then you need the player to move after it. But if you want something to move because of a player, then the player needs to move before it. So now Horizon Worlds supports both use cases. For example, you would use the first case mechanic for things like vehicles, like a car moving a player. But you would use the second case mechanic for things like swinging a sword, where the player moves that sword. Pro tip: use if statements in conjunction with this code block for maximum effect. Content ratings have been introduced to all worlds as part of the new Mature Worlds policy. If you have an existing world, you will need to designate the content rating in the World tab in Build mode. You can rate your world either 18 plus or everyone. Then you will want to republish. Now, under your Asset tab, you can add custom folders to your asset library. This will allow you to organize your assets to be easily found. Those are all the new updates. What do you think about them? Comment below, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, join Lakes05 for live tutorials, even taking your requests on Sunday at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, right here on the Vidyuu Tutorials YouTube channel. Following that, over on Vidyuu Nights, check out Horizon Live with Oculus 410 Sunday night at 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern. Every week he hosts a surprise guest. Tune in to find out who will be this Sunday. We'll see you then.